Hi, this is Mike from Arturia, and in this video I'll be showing you the MiniLab MIDI controller and our analog laboratory software. The Arturia MiniLab is a 25-key bus-powered MIDI controller. It has two banks of 8 drum pads with a button to select banks 1 through 8 and 9 through 16, your octave down and up buttons, 2 touch strips for sending pitch and mod, and 16 endless rotary controls. The shift button is for quickly selecting any of your 8 presets or selecting any of your 16 MIDI channels. So in Ableton I have a small template set up with a few instruments, and on my first MIDI channel I've got the Mini-V software. On MIDI channel 2 I've got the Jupiter. Channel 3, I've got my Whirly V. And then on the pads up here, I've got some drums and drum racks. And the way I was able to put the pads on a separate MIDI channel was using the MIDI Control Center editing software that ships with the MiniLab. The MiniLab also ships with the analog laboratory software, which is a very powerful synth engine that takes advantage of some of the best sounds in the Arturia V collection. So there's 2 ways to go about creating and playing sounds in the Analog Lab. We have sound and multi. So we'll go ahead and click the sound button up here, and you'll see in my library that I've got a multitude of presets from all the Arturia synthesizers in the V collection. So we'll go ahead and click on one of the presets from the Mini-V, and you'll see that in my studio view over here, it highlights that synth. If I click on the CS80V, it'll highlight that one, and so forth. So we'll go ahead and we'll select a bass patch from the Mini-V, and what we can do is go over to multi, and we can locate that bass patch if we wanted to, and then drag it into each one of these boxes over here, part 1 and part 2. But let's just experiment, and we'll grab, let's say, a lead from the Prophet and a effects preset from the ARP 2600, and just see what that sounds like. So some of the best results come from just experimenting, actually. So once you've found something that you liked, you can scroll down and you can add effects by turning on your different effects here and selecting from the drop-down menu. You can mix them with your return and master controls, and then further edit your preset by selecting any of the drop-down menus beneath your 16 rotary encoders. You can create more library space by clicking the keyboard button up here. You've got your MIDI Learn and your Preference button, which allows you to further edit your preset and patch if you have any of the V collection synths installed on your machine. You save your preset up here, and you can create a new one simply by clicking this and giving it a name. In this section of the video, I'll be showing you the Arturia MiniLab MIDI Control Center. The MIDI Control Center is essentially an editor that allows you to customize all the controls and parameters on the MiniLab. So you'll see here we've got all 16 encoders, our 8 pads, and our keys. And what I've gone and done is changed all the pads and put them on channel 10. So I'll be launching clips and triggering effects in Ableton on the other bank of 8 pads. I've also set up my encoders here to perform all sorts of effects tweaks and different types of clip launching and loop lengths and things like that. So with the MIDI Control Center, you can basically set up and map your controller to perform any type of effects or performance or arrangement type of techniques for creating things on the fly, and really being more in the music than having to draw in envelopes and things like that. So we're going to just go ahead and improvise. I've got an Ableton Live set over here with just a few clips, and we're just going to see what happens.